What if a single mental shift could unlock 20% more productivity from your team? Many leaders and business owners become overwhelmed and hit a ceiling, not because of skill, but because of mindset. In this episode, I will share the surprising question that reframes any challenge into an opportunity and 2 more mental tweaks that you can start using today. Stay with me here. Your team's next breakthrough is one thought away. When we use the word I can't or we can't, we're pulling from past experiences. So creating awareness is a big part of this mindset shift that is going to change the culture of your organization. We need to change the language that we used from what went wrong to what did we learn. I want you to continue to be in this learning mindset, and it will allow you to stay in growth and not become fixed. Hey everyone, John here. Today we're going to talk about why mindset matters. I work with several leaders and business owners that have rock solid processes and systems in place. But what they're missing is the cultural piece, is the mindset piece. Mindset is the multiplier for organizations. It can take your organization from squeaking by or good to great. So let's get into the 3 shifts that I'm going to ask you to make, and I promise you're going to be able to see a difference in a very short amount of time, because I know everybody out there wants to multiply their business. Nobody wants to stay stagnant. The first one we're going to talk about is spotting and shifting those limiting beliefs. What is a limiting belief? It's those statements or those thoughts that we tell ourselves. A great example, when I first started the podcast, when I first started to put myself out there and get into this coaching business and consulting business, I had a limiting belief that nobody would listen to me, that nobody cared. That's not the case. We surpassed 100,000 views on our YouTube channel. I mean, that alone is a testament to why you should not listen to your limiting belief. And the first topic, the first shift that we need to create in ourselves and in our team, this awareness, this power of becoming aware of our limiting beliefs. When we use the word I can't or we can't, we're pulling from past experiences. So yeah, maybe, we've started a business before. We hired some folks, and it fizzled out. Maybe back in the COVID boom, where everybody had extra money and everybody had extra time, we were doing really well, and now we're seeing a shift. And so we want to start that new thing, or we want to create a new idea and have our team follow behind us, but we failed in the past. The first part of that situation is awareness. Stop yourself. So we're going to talk about some ways to do that, because when we let those beliefs go unchecked, what happens? They turn into self-fulfilling prophecy. And self-fulfilling prophecy is, Tony Robbins talks about this all the time. Our beliefs become our reality. And if we allow that reality to happen, it's probably because we've started out with the belief that we can or we can't. So this first application that I want to give you all is a daily application, and I call it the mindset audit. I'm big into auditing my relationships and my mindset, and I do this through journaling. So I would recommend get a journal. I talk to this all the time. I have a journal here every morning when I'm crafting the message, when I'm putting down my bullet points on what I want to share with you. I journal these things out, and a lot of times I will check my self-limiting beliefs. But what I want you to do here is, this is daily, and just take less than maybe 2 to 3 minutes. But throughout the day, as you're meeting with your team, as you're having those impromptu conversations, just those water cooler type conversations, maybe in the hallway passing, where somebody stops by your office or knocks on your door, your cubicle, or whatever your environment looks like, notice when they use the words I can't or we can't or we've tried that before. And I want you to audit how many times and who says that. Because in the end, what we're going to do is I'm going to challenge you to go back to that individual, go back to the team, if it was said in the team, and challenge that status quo. There's a lot of times where I sit in meetings and the leader starts off the conversation or the challenge, and it quickly turns into, we've tried that. And you can look around the room, and you probably have experienced this before in a team meeting. You can even do it in a virtual team meeting, in a Zoom call. People will turn off their cameras or they'll become disengaged. Why? Because they have set that limiting belief. They are fulfilling that prophecy by allowing others in the room and them themselves as the leader, or as you're the business owner, to set the stage that we can't do this. So audit that and then challenge the status quo. Is that really the truth? It's no different than if we were to wanting to change a habit or our mentality. That's the first step, is creating this awareness and challenging the status quo. Another great opportunity for you to gain this awareness is through your one-on-one conversations. And here, I do this quite often, and I wrote this down because this has worked tremendously for me in the past. But what's one belief, and that, again, 30 minutes, I do my one-on-ones. This is something that's very, very powerful because I get ahead of these situations. I allow myself to hear and listen to people's concerns, and a lot of them come in the form of limiting beliefs. But what is one belief, ask them, that's holding them back? And then what is one belief that they want to adopt? Really quick, once you kind of condition the team, and you can do this weekly, you can do it monthly, or you can do it quarterly, but it allows them to look back and say, you know what? I didn't think I could do that, but I came through. I didn't think we could meet that marketing quota, or I didn't think that we could actually design that software, right? Or get that product into the market space. Whatever that is, allow them to reflect back. And it was a huge challenge. So this is a big part of getting people to believe in themselves, believe in the strategy and the mission and vision of the organization. And it starts with you as the leader or the business owner or the entrepreneur. You have to believe in it more than they do, because you got to inspire that belief, and you got to create an awareness around, okay, where are our limiting beliefs and how can we move past them? So creating awareness is a big part of this mindset shift that is going to change the culture of your organization. The second one here is cultivating a growth mindset. So we've created an awareness. Now we're moving into growth. What this looks like, a fixed mindset, is really playing defense. We play defense all the time in our businesses. Why? Because we're playing not to lose. A good defense wins championships. We've all heard that, right? Offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. In business, it's the exact opposite. We have to have a growth mindset, an offensive mindset, to go out there and experiment, to challenge ourselves, to think differently. So it's all about that growth mindset in this second shift that I'm going to ask you to make with your teams and in your business. What are some ways that we can do this? I want us to begin to reframe failure. Failure is an option. And I'll say it again. Failure is an option. We need to change the language that we used from what went wrong to what did we learn. What went wrong in this situation? You can see that's focusing on the negative. We're focusing on the failure versus what can we learn from this challenge? What can we learn from this situation? Now we're on the proactive side, right? We're playing offense there. We're not playing defense of, okay, well, we don't need to do that again, right? Versus, hey, we need to get creative. We need to maybe change up our play scheme, right? We got different players that have different strengths. So offensive thinking in business is going to keep you growing. It's going to prevent you from becoming complacent and asking, what can we do differently? Or what did we learn? Excellent questions for getting people past that failure, or maybe it didn't go as well as we thought it was going to go, but either way, it keeps them on that proactive, that offensive foot. The second one right here is this language cheat code. Words mean things. What we say means things. And it seems simple. You're probably saying, John, duh, right? I know that. But all the time we're saying things to ourselves, back to our limiting beliefs, that we're not good at X. I'm not good at podcasting. I'm not good at coaching. I'm not good at social media. I'm not good at leading teams. How many times do we tell ourselves, I'm not a good runner. I'm not a good parent. I'm not a good brother or sister. I'm not a good business owner. Those mean things. And if we say them over and over again, we start to believe them. So I want you to change the mindset of, I'm learning how to be a better podcaster. I'm learning how to be a better husband, a wife, a father, a daughter, a son, a mom, whatever that looks like. You are learning. I have 3 kids, and every kid is different. There is not a playbook that I have been able to find, because I've read a lot, on parenting, on communication. There's not one out there that you can say, yep, that's my second child. That's them. That's tailored to a T. That's not the case. So I want you to continue to be in this learning mindset, and it will allow you to stay in growth and not become fixed. It'll allow you to play offense because offense is constantly moving. You're proactive. You're looking at what's going on out there, and then you're creating the best possible play to get you to whatever that goal is, to get you across the goal line and score those points. That's what every single one of you want to do. We want to score points. We want to bring in revenue. We want to bring our customers, joy and happiness and fulfillment and value so they keep on coming back. That growth mindset starts with the leader, starts with the business owner, the entrepreneur, and it flows into everybody else. So again, cultivating a growth mindset, very, very important. Got you some applications there that you can start using. And then last but not least, we're going to talk about how, one, the awareness, how the growth feeds into the culture. So this last piece is all going to be about culture. And when I talk about embedding mind shifts into the culture, we are talking about taking the tactics, the tactical things that we do on a day-to-day basis as leaders, whether it's the language, it's creating those one-on-one conversations and allowing people to come to you. So those are tactical things. Those are things that, applications that I give in my podcast every single time. Now what we want to do is turn them into habits, because that's how you're going to create the culture. That's how you're going to create that environment where people want to come work for you, for your company. They see what you're doing. They see you got a great growth mindset. They see that you don't have any limiting beliefs, that you challenge, that failure is an option. They want to become part of that culture. And that's what this third shift is all about. We got to get off those one-off exercises and start creating like this routine that's reinforced. Because when we reinforce things, that is what's going to perpetuate. That's what's going to continue that growth. What are some ways that you can do that? I'm a big mindset, especially in the morning person. In my morning, the very first thing I do is 3 things of gratitude. Before I even get out of bed, before my feet hit the ground, 3 things I'm grateful for. And that is exactly what I want you to do for this. Try it on. I want to take a quick break from the episode today to talk about a couple things. The first thing, less than 40% of our listeners are subscribed to our channel. You would be doing me a huge favor if you click on that subscribe button. It helps us grow our Go Be Great community and get this podcast out to as many people as we possibly can. The second thing, are you a small business owner that is drowning in the day-to-day operations? You're delegating tasks and you're still doing all the work. You're experiencing a high turnover. Maybe you don't have the systems and processes in place that you need to run a successful business. I invite you to go over to thejohnespinosa.com, fill out the form to see if you're the right fit. Now back to the episode. In this application, it starts in the morning. If you can start your day off right, and the way that I want you to do this is, what opportunity are you excited for today? Ask yourself that question, and then go and ask your team. Like, walk around as you're saying good morning, or as you're saying, hey, how was your evening, or what did you do last night? Follow it up with, what opportunity are you excited for today? And then sit back and listen. That is going to change the mindset of that individual. And now you're going to learn something about that person. They may have a big project that is coming due and a milestone, needs to be completed that day. They may have something personal in their lives. Maybe they're celebrating an anniversary, a birthday, whatever that may be. But what opportunity are they excited for? Such a great question to ask others. And then for you as the business owner and the leader, just sit back and listen. Another way that I like to create this culture of, just really positivity and growth mindset is accountability partners. I have accountability partners. You've all heard you're the sum of the 4 people that you take advice from. Why? Because they keep you accountable. One of the ways to kill a great idea or a big idea is to go someone that's small-minded. So pick your accountability partner and then allow them to keep you accountable. In my teams, I pair people up. And I will challenge the fact that I don't pair two like-minded individuals up. If you know your team well enough, if you get two people that are in the same room or you yourself are like-minded with another one of your friends, what happens? You begin to kind of feed off of the same things. I want to have an accountability partner that challenges me, that asks me, I don't see it that way, or, hey, tell me more, right? Because I see it a little bit differently. And then when I tell them, then they hold me accountable to it. It's a very powerful thing. The same accountability partner for 24 years, aka my wife, and we keep each other accountable all the time in a very different way, not a business-minded way, but there are things that we keep each other accountable for. So find that accountability partner. If you're the business owner, if you are running the team, pair some people up, and then provide some guidelines. Remember, provide those guardrails about what the expectations are for the accountability partner. But here, you're going to create a mindset goal. Maybe it's, I'm not going to say I can't anymore, or I'm going to challenge the status quo, or every time we set a lofty goal, we're going to lean in, or failure is an option. And every time I say failure is not, I want you to challenge me. So these accountability partners are just one of those applications that you can implement in your organization to help you grow the culture that people want to come work for. So we talked about a lot today. We started out with creating an awareness, and that awareness comes from journaling and doing your audit. Then we talked about how to create this growth mindset, play offense. Businesses that play defense, they become stagnant, they become irrelevant. And then last but not least, that will translate into the culture that we want to create by this simple mind shift that we can make as a leader and we can instill in our teams. So the gist of today, one thing I want you to walk away with is shift from can't to can. I believe in you. Go be great. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye. If you like what you're hearing, do us a favor. Click on that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up or leave a comment. That lets us know that what we are putting out benefits you. If you want additional information or resources or learn how to work with me, head on over to thejohnespinosa.com, because when we become better versions of ourselves, it helps us get others to where they're going. Go be great. Talk to everyone later.